Hey gang, welcome to episode number whatever this is of Vital Vinyl. My name's Vernon Smith. That's why I have a sign with my name up there. That's actually from a comic convention, from a fan expo show. And they put my name up there, like they did with everyone else. And so I brought it home. So in case I ever forgot who I was, I'd be like, yeah, that dude might know who I am. Now you may have noticed that my turntable is gone. And last time I mentioned that my tape deck is gone because it's out for repairs. Well, the turntable is out forever because I sold it. It's the one that like the platter spat out like a CD tray and you could put your record on it. It was... I got rid of it because I saw like another vintagey turntable that I was interested in getting. It was on like an online auction, and for the longest time the thing was just sitting there as the days were counting down, and I was like, all right, cool. But whenever I'm getting stereo stuff and record stuff, what I do is I sell what I have, so I don't like spend money that I don't have, and also I'll end up with a bunch of stuff that I don't need or don't want. And so that's what I did. I sold that one and used the money to get the other turntable, but then the other turntable kind of got out of my price range. So, but I've still got my regular Audio-Technica LP3, which is an amazing record player. I love it very much. I'm patting it on its dust cover right now. That's a great turntable. But I might be getting some other... Well, I am getting some other stuff in that hopefully is pretty good. So whenever I get it, maybe I'll talk about that. People seem to like whenever I talk about audio equipment as well. And I still got to get to that 8-track player because, yeah. And I also have an LP60 Audio-Technica turntable that I want to talk about because that's a pretty cool turntable too. I'm just going to keep saying turntable. But one thing that is cool to play on a record player is today's album that we're talking about. It's a weird kind of medley album. Stars on Long Play. I think the band is just called Stars On. I'd always heard them referred to as Stars on 45. And that's a little bell dingy ding. But this is a weird little thing that I ended up with when a friend of mine gave me like a Crossley or Victrola type thing. And she was also getting rid of some records. And this was one of them. And I was like, oh, I've heard this before. Because on the classic rock... No, not even the classic rock. The oldies station. WTIX New Orleans. Even though no one here says New Orleans, just New Orleans. Not New Orleans either, for those of you out in the rest of the world. They would play this Beatles medley, and it's like about, 15 minutes long with like about 20 to 30 seconds of various Beatles songs, blending one right into another, and in the background there's like this kind of like disco drum beat and kind of like disco synthesizer background, and every couple of minutes like this girl come on and start singing for a few seconds, saying like, the stars on 45 and going through your mind, but we can work it out, remember, twist and shout. And then like it kicks into another 5 minutes of Beatles medley. So I was like, oh yeah, I'd heard of this. And I always thought that it was just like a DJ thing that somebody had spliced together, and that it was actual Beatles songs, because I'd only heard it like on a little portable radio at a pizza place that I worked at like 20 years ago or something. And yeah, so it wasn't until like I think I downloaded it maybe like several years later, off of like Napster or LimeWire or something, and hearing it like through a decent system, I was like, oh no, that's actually like a band playing this stuff. And so that's kind of what it was. It was like these studio musicians from the Netherlands that just put out this thing, and I guess maybe for clubs or something to play. I don't know, but it's really weird. And so side one is just straight up all the Beatles stuff, like No Reply, I'll Be Back, Drive My Car, Do You Want to Know a Secret, We Can Work It Out, I Should Have Known Better with a Girl Like You, Nowhere Man, You're Gonna Lose That Girl, Ticket to Ride, The Word, Eleanor Rigby, Every Little Thing, And Your Bird Can Sing, Get Back, 8 Days a Week, It Won't Be Long, Day Tripper, Wait. And then they kick into that little Stars on 45 like 10-second jam that I was talking about. Then it kicks back into Good Day Sunshine, My Sweet Lord. Which that's actually a Harrison song. That's not a Beatles song. That was a solo one. Here Comes the Sun, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Taxman, Hard Day's Night, Things We Said Today, If I Fell in Love with You. You Can't Do That. I can't do what? Sing? Yeah, you're right. Please Please Me, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and then it kicks back into the Stars on 45 medley again and wraps up. And that is it for side 1. Then on side 2, they've got 2 other medleys. The first one is, it's still that same like disco backbeat and background singers coming on, and then it kicks into just straight disco hits. Boogie Nights, Boogie Nights, Funky Town, then some 80s, was that the Buggles? Video Killed the Radio Star. Venus, which could be 60s or 80s, because it was originally Jefferson Airplane, and then, God, who did it in the 80s? Bananarama? Maybe? You know what? I think I actually might have that single here. Because I do have a handful of 7-inchers that I picked up at a thrift store one day, but they're all slightly warpy sounding, so that's kind of doo-doo. Okay, now the Bananarama I have is I Had a Rumor, and then some other song from Disorderlies. Wow. That was a movie. Starring the Fat Boys. Oh, back, do you remember the Fat Boys? Anywho, and yeah, then Sugar, Sugar, boo, 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 Kathy's Clown, Only the Lonely, Lady Bump, don't remember what that song is, and it's not Fergie. But what if it was? What if she'd gone back in time and was a member of the Stars on 45? If that's what the only time traveler wasted their thing on, then somebody should go back in time and put a bullet in my head. Jimmy Mack, When Are You Smoking Crack? And Rainy Day. And then they wrap it up again with Stars on 45 medley. And then they kick into 2 sort of mini medleys of like kind of golden era rock and roll stuff. Like Lucille, was that Little Richard, Bird Dog, which I believe is Everly Brothers, Run, 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 Run Away, Do You Remember, Bread and Butter, That's All Right, That's All Right, Elvis, Rip It Up, Jenny, Jenny, another Little Richard jam, Wooly Bully, Wooly Bully, Bueno Sarah. I did not know that song. Slippin' and a Slidin', another Little Richard song. My favorite Little Richard song, by the way. Probably because I remember as a young teen, they brought back like the New Adventures of Mighty Mouse, like in the late 80s. And there was one episode where they just did clips of like the original Mighty Mouse, and they just played the whole song of Slippin' and Slidin' over and over again. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't know it was Little Richard until I saw an episode of, I think it was Cosby Show maybe, and they played that. And I was like, oh, all right, that's who that is. Cool. Nutrocker, don't know that one. And then it ends with, at the hop, bop, bop, da, 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 let's go to the hop, oh, baby. So yeah. Stars on 45, and this is what the album looks like, and it lists all of those songs that I just listed. So I guess I could have just like been quiet for about 5-10 minutes and just gone and let you guys read it. Compelling. So, I guess that concludes another thrilling, jam-packed episode of this fine program that you've tuned into today. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Or don't if you don't want to. Tell a friend, spread the word, or keep it your little secret, our little secret. Yours, mine, and the 43 other subscribers that we got here. We're all part of a community. Maybe a cult, who knows? But I won't ever ask you to do anything bad. Unless it's to tune back in next time. All right. I think next time we're doing the soundtrack to The Sting by something Joplin. I forget the guy's name. Not Janis. Are they related? Who knows? Maybe his name's Philip Joplin. Maybe it's Charles Joplin. Put what name you think it is in the comments below. Alright. Till then, have a blessed day. Haha, I was right. Scott Joplin. Remember when I said that? You know what? I only got this thing for one song, so let's just talk about it today. Okay? I don't even remember what the name of the song is. Oh yeah, The Entertainer. It's like do 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 do. And it just kind of goes on like that for a whole lot over and over again. And I think there's like 3 different versions of that on this album. Picked this up at a thrift store for about 50 cents. So I was like, all right, it's a pretty good deal. 50 cents for a song. It's cheaper than iTunes or Apple Music or whatever it's called nowadays. Do they even sell songs like they used to? I don't know. But yeah, it's just a little instrumental thing. And if you remember from last time when I was talking about Star Trek, I like instrumentals. I like soundtracks because it's good to just put on, tune in, and turn out, man. Yeah. So, pick this up at a thrift store And most thrift stores have a garbage nowadays as far as records and stereo equipment's concerned. I mean, I got that 8-track player that I keep saying I'm going to talk about, and maybe one day I will. But that was more like at a kind of vintagey boutique type shop that specializes in like stuff from the 70s and 80s, 90s. So it's kind of a specialty shop. So, but like just your average, Goodwill, Red, White, and Blue, whatever, thrift stores don't have anything. Habitat Reef store, no. I mean, cool furniture and stuff. Yeah, got a awesome little record holder, but then my collection outgrew it, but I still have it. It's more like a magazine rack. What are you talking about? I don't know. But yeah, thrift stores as far as like music and music equipment go nowadays, in the toilet. I think, at least from what I've heard, it's because whenever they do get good stuff, especially when it comes to like stereo equipment, they just sell it online and people bid on it and stuff, which kind of sucks because they never test the equipment. So you could end up with some lemons. I've been lucky so far. I mean, the only thing I ever got was that tape deck, and it plays really, really, really good. It's got like a little bit of a warbly sound, which is why it's not here anymore. But I got that at a thrift store online, and got it for a pretty good price. I think it was like around 30 or 40 bucks, and then another 30 or 40 for shipping. So it was like all together, it was $68 for a 1977 Technics RS630 US tape deck. And I've seen those on eBay for like $150, $200 just for parts and repair, and then like actual working ones for like $200 to $300. So scoring one for 70 bones is pretty good. Then I've got another little thing that should be coming in next week that I got for around 20 or 30 bucks plus shipping. Altogether it was like 40 total exactly, and it was a little under 40, but then they're like, do you want to round it up to help people? And I was like, sure. So, and it's like this little clock radio with a cassette player in it from like the mid 70s. So hopefully that works, because it's really cool looking, and it's even got the speakers in it. But you can also plug others, like you can plug it into a stereo. So if my other tape deck doesn't work and this little clock radio one does, then maybe I could record stuff onto cassette that way and play it. So that'd be neat, because I really don't want to have two cassette players that are lemons, because I want to start recording stuff onto tapes. I miss it. I miss the format that I hated so much 20, 30 years ago. All right. That concludes another part of this episode, which will be the final part of this episode. So next time, we'll be discussing a little Motown, which normally isn't my thing, but this group kind of is. And this record was kind of a bonus record that I got unintentionally, and I'm very, 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 very happy about it. It's from the Supremes, and it's called Supremes A Go-Go. So it's like kind of mid-60s go-go style, type stuff. All right. See you then, ladies and gentlemen.